You're tuned in to Voiced Thoughts Talk Show and Podcast, a forum where we discuss and explore society-based topics while advocating and providing information and resources to the community through an unscripted, unfiltered, and authentic approach. Listen on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Apple Music. Watch us on YouTube. Join our Facebook group. Follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Voiced Thoughts Talk Show and Podcast, your society-based channel. Welcome to another episode of Voiced Thoughts Talk Show and Podcast. I'm your host, Danette Mahabeer-Turner, and today we have an amazing episode lined up for you, as always. But before we get into that, allow me the opportunity to highlight the sponsors of episode 6, or title sponsor, Exit Realty Key Group. Thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate in Western Kentucky? The team at Exit Realty Key Group is known locally for being professional, easy to work with, and truly caring about the people they serve. Real estate can be a big decision, so having a team that takes the time to answer questions and guide you through the process makes a big difference. Follow them on Facebook today to see different listings, helpful tips, and community happenings at Exit Realty Key Group. For episode 6 sponsor, Natasha Tackett, Mrs. Bluegrass MSA, a wife, mother of 2 daughters, and a social justice advocate from Eastern Kentucky who uses her platform to raise awareness and advocate for solutions to food insecurity in communities across the region. Follow her journey today on Instagram at Natasha Tackett Official. Remember, you can watch us on YouTube, listen on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, and iHeartRadio. Join our Facebook group and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Voice Thoughts Talk Show and Podcast. History isn't just found in textbooks. It lives in our communities or landmarks and the stories we choose to preserve. Season 5, Episode 6, today's topic, Preserving African American History. And our special guest is none other than Rhonda McCorry. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for the invitation. I look forward to this.
For listeners who may not be familiar, what is Paducah Historic Preservation Group and what inspired you to start it?
Well, Paducah Historical Preservation Group is a group of concerned people that want to preserve African American history in the Jackson Purchase area. Now, I did not start the group. The group started out of a group of individuals from the Paducah Tillman class of 72, and they had a BTOR, Back to Our Roots campaign, and they solicited help, and myself and a few others showed up. And from there, we started thinking, there's a lot of things that are gone, missing, and children won't know that it was ever here. Mm-hmm. So we just started an effort to preserve. Now, that was, I was an advisor at that time. It was started with a gentleman, Winston Drain. He was the president, and then some of the 72 class members. But we're a group of people all over. We're not all here in Paducah, but we're from Paducah. So we love our city, and we come back to preserve whatever we can, and the region.
I love that. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. And when we talk about preserving African American history, what does that really mean for communities like Paducah and the Jackson Purchase area?
Well, Paducah is a quiet little town, and you don't realize what kind of history we have as African Americans in this area. Just recently at the library, Betty Dobson over at the Hotel Metropolitan gave a update on the history there. Before that, Mr. Nathan Lynn over at the library gave a presentation on the history of music that came from the African American community in Paducah.
Wow.
And that is something that you may want to get a hold of. It's amazing. From everybody from Louis Armstrong to singers, Mr. Oscar Cross. He had trained Billie Holiday when she was a little girl. You wouldn't think that coming from Paducah. And that's the reason you can get that big story from Betty. But we just know there's a lot going on. And one of our activities, I'm wearing the shirt today, Helen LaFrance. She's an artist from Graves County. So the Jackson Purchase area comprised of the lower 8 counties, kind of westernmost 8 counties in Kentucky. And there's just all kinds of history. We're just scratching the surface.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. And so why is it important to preserve African American history and cultural landmarks before they're lost or forgotten?
Well, a lot of children don't get the history that they need because of laws, because of new edicts from our government. And it's something that they can be proud of. Children get antsy and they think they can't obtain certain things, but you can look back and see people that had a lot less than them were able to do great things. So we want to share some of those moments, like going down the boulevard now, Jaton Boulevard. It just makes my heart sing. I've driven up and down it 2 or 3 times. Just some of the people that contributed their time and their effort and their love to Paducah. So we could do the things that we do. And it's very important that the children learn that.
I agree with you. Mm-hmm. And so are there any specific places and stories or contributions from African Americans in the Jackson Purchase area that you feel deserve more recognition? You mentioned a few just now, yes, but you think that it deserves more recognition?
Well, the one that I'm wearing, Helen LaFrance, a lot of people do not know her. She's a little lady from Graves County, which is also the home of Ellis Wilson, a world-renowned artist, and she's world-renowned as well. And we have Joanne Dance from here in Paducah. So we are working class people here in Western Kentucky, and we don't get a lot of art and cultural, in African American, a lot of art and cultural opportunities. So with the history, we bring a little culture, and we could bring some of these people forward. And art, Helen is known for her folksy art. She was a memory painter, and a lot of local people do have her art. Not a lot, but a few people do have her art. But we were lucky enough as our second preservation act to purchase her a collection of her art.
Wow.
And we had it at the Paducah School of Art, and I'm waiting to place it again somewhere downtown so more people can have access to it through the summer at least. I just picked it up yesterday from Mayfield.
Wow.
She went back home for a little while, and people enjoyed, sharing stories they knew about her life through working with her or meeting her or seeing her paint. And she was one that she learned to paint at the age of about 4 or 5.
Wow.
And she died at the age of 101, and she was still painting. So her art reflects almost 100 years of history.
That is amazing.
It's simply amazing.
And that needs recognition.
Yes, it needs the recognition.
So thank you for all that you and this group,
yes,
are doing
yes,
in our community. And so what are some of the biggest challenges communities face when trying to preserve historic African American sites or stories?
The main thing is funding, finance. We do have people that care, and so we do occasionally get sponsors. But just the financing of it, it would be beautiful to have a small museum where we could place some of the art that we have. And we also, our first preservation was cornerstones from the church, Clay Street Christian Church, over by the community kitchen now. The church was over 100 years old, wow, and they tore it down, and we recovered 3 cornerstones. And just a couple of weeks ago, I recovered another one from a church that was built in 1920. And I had been riding it around in my car until this weekend. I got it out.
Wow.
It is 600 pounds, and my mileage was going down. And so I was able we were able to recover that. And so if we had a place to put that would be nice. But we have managed to do some other things to bring to light, the Stuart Nelson Park. We worked well with the city and county and the tourism, the sports tourism group, to bring to life a memorial for William Stuart Nelson, one of Paducah's own.
Wow. Wow. Do you think some parts of history have been overlooked or erased over time? or how does preservation help to correct that?
Well, once history is created, it's up to individuals to preserve it because, like you say, some of it's gone, buildings are gone, stories are gone, we didn't record. If we knew then what we know now, everybody would have a microphone in their face like they do with telephones now. We'd be recording everybody. People have left and lost. And with the, I go back to the Metropolitan, it's just a wholesome place and a place where a lot of history lives, thanks to Betty Dobson. So we appreciate that. Now, with preserving history and how you can improve on that, is just to recognize what is meaningful and share it, capture it, and try to preserve it as soon as you possibly can.
Wow. How can everyday residents in Paducah and surrounding communities help support the preservation of African American history?
Well, just today we had a workshop over at the library during lunchtime, and a few of us showed up. One of the projects we have coming up is to identify an area in Oak Grove Cemetery of where enslaved people were buried, but there's no markers. And once we can corroborate that, in fact, if we check 1,000 and 700 are over in this area, we could memorialize, put some kind of a sign and a proper recognition of that space so that it's not lost or whatever. But we had a session at the library to learn all kind of resources and what's available, how to research. And I learned something new about different funeral homes, because we will have to search funeral home records, and then the challenge is we're looking for people that were born before 1865, before the Civil War ended, and to declare them as an enslaved person. And so with that, we're going to have to start digging deep. So I've had 17 people to sign up, and that's how they can help. Well, as we were there, I was sharing with Nathan, because he was leading that class. I said, they've changed the upload digital information for the cemetery. And we looked at it, and it was like, he was like, wow, but there's a lot of blank information. So community members could gather around the city or whoever is managing that and start filling that information. It's important, the genealogical portion of it.
Wow, so it's a lot of connecting the dots and putting the puzzle pieces together.
Yes, and that's what
takes group effort for that.
We're working on this project at Oak Grove with Murray State University. Some of the students will get credit for coming and helping us. We plan to use ground penetrating radar, but with the new information the city has uploaded, we may not have to do that. But it would be a new technology that others could learn. And then, of course, the city is working with us to try to help us identify
so many efforts putting into this. And that's beautiful. And we want to educate our audience on preserving African American history, because it's very important.
It is important. Just last Tuesday, we had a concert here in Paducah. I don't know if you heard it, but it was from Howard University, the Howard Gospel Choir from Howard University in Washington, D.C. They were passing from Chicago going to Nashville when I called.
Wow.
And on their spring break tour. And I said, hey, that's halfway. You could stop and see us. And they did. And so we were able to bring that to Paducah. And as I was mentioning it on the stage when we were introducing things, that's what you call the Chitlin Circuit. That's how all of the important singers and things got to Paducah to start with. They'd be coming from a big city like Chicago, going to Memphis or going to Nashville or Atlanta, and they'd stop in Little Paducah, and we'd get the benefit of it. And for us, it was just a blessing. It was a beautiful experience, and we brought them here because that's where William Stewart Nelson had graduated from.
That is amazing.
To honor him.
We talk about a lot of the things that you're doing. Now we want to hear about some upcoming projects.
Okay.
So projects, initiatives in the Paducah Historic Preservation Group that you guys are working on that people should know about.
Okay. I just mentioned we're going to be working in the cemetery come the end of this month and next month. and on through June. But we are working on our film festival again. I think you participated with us last
Second
year.
Annual, right?
Second
That was
annual.
the first one.
And it's being rebranded as the Oscar Devereaux Michaud Film Festival. And so we're excited about that. We will also be working on our fourth annual artist showcase that we do at the City Hall.
Gotcha.
So we've got things coming down the pike and looking forward to that. But we have a page on Facebook, working on getting a website because we finally got our name, our domain name. But we just want you to come out there and share with us if you got pictures, if you got history to share. And then one other thing, we're trying to raise a group of men to be to represent the 8th U.S. Colored Heavy Artillery Unit that was stationed in garrison and mustered from Paducah, Kentucky for the Civil War. And they were housed where the convention center is now. That was Fort Anderson.
Wow.
And because they were there, the Battle of Paducah was won. They had vacated and started moving toward Vicksburg. Grant had, and they thought that the fort was unattended, but the 8th U.S. Cavalry fought back, and whoever else was there.
Yes, we're going to get that clip out there to get some help.
So we want to have some historical interpretations done, and then gentlemen dressed in the uniform for the parade for the 8th of August, that kind of thing.
That would be
Just
amazing.
Beautiful.
Yes, and you mentioned the Facebook group and the upcoming website. But for those who are not a part of the group, how can they find that Facebook group to join? That
Facebook group is Paducah Historical Preservation Group. So just Google it and it'll pop up. Or any of the topics.
Click to join and Rhonda will let you in.
I'll let you right in. We appreciate everybody.
And before you go, of course, looking ahead, what do you hope future generations will understand about African American history in this region because of the work being done today?
I just want them to understand it's American history. Like you started out, preserving American history. All of it was done right here on this soil. And this is America. So the history, and we parse it out as African American history because you have all kind of groups preserving the majority, the different history. But we want to add to it. It's not to take not one thing away, it's plus. It's a plus up, and we just want you to realize that American history is bilateral. It's this side, it's that side, it's all sides, and this is just a little chip.
Well, thank you for all that you're doing to preserve history.
Yes.
Let's just say preserve American history, African American history, the group that you're a part of, the efforts, the projects, and all the upcoming initiatives. And, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to be on Voice Thoughts.
One more thing. We will have another African American tour. It will be August the 7th in front of the Hotel Metropolitan, and we'll take them around some of the African American sites. This will be our third one, so we're looking forward to that.
We'll mark the calendar. We'll share the word with our audience. And thank you again for taking the time.
Thank you for bringing me out. I had never thought about coming myself. I'm always, looking and seeing what you're doing. But
you're doing great work in the community, and it's worth recognizing.
Thank you.
Appreciate to it. Our episode title sponsor, Exit Realty Key Group. Thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate in Western Kentucky? The team at Exit Realty Key Group is known locally for being professional, easy to work with, and truly caring about the people they serve. Real estate can be a big decision. So having the team that takes the time to answer questions and guide you through the process makes a big difference. Follow them on Facebook to see local listings, helpful tips, and community happenings at Exit Realty Key Group. Or episode 6 sponsor, Natasha Tackett, Mrs. Bluegrass, MSA, a wife, mother of 2 daughters, and a social justice advocate from Eastern Kentucky who uses her platform to raise awareness and advocate for solutions to food insecurity in communities across the region. Follow her journey on Instagram today at Natasha Tackett Official. And again, you can watch us on YouTube. Listen on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Apple Music. Be sure to join our Facebook group and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Voice Thoughts Talk Show and Podcast. I've been your host. My name is Danette Mahabeer-Turner, and we'll see you on the next episode. God bless.